Welcome to the Powder Room Show. Today we are doing things a little bit different. I'm going to tell you a little bit about myself. You need to get to know me as I get to know you guys. So let's get started. Let's get into my childhood. I grew up in Los Angeles, California, and I went to school in ABC School District. My mom she wasn't having us, like we lived in LA, but she didn't want us to be raised in LA, if that makes sense. My mother is Medea. We call her the Medea of the family. If Medea was saved, she'll be my mother. My mother's the kind of woman, she's so into the Lord. As I remember Stilo Brim called his mom an aggressive Christian. I just feel like, I was like, man, I think that's my mother. Because, she used to be so strict growing up. I remember when I was younger and I wanted to go to this homecoming dance. She must have lectured me about how dancing was the devil. You remember, well, that ain't nothing but the devil. She lectured me how dancing was the devil and you don't want to do that and God is going to be looking at you a certain time. I was like, look, if it take all this, and of course I was younger and thinking like, Mom, it ain't that deep. I'm just going to a dance. But I love it, the aggressive Christian. She was that growing up. As we got older, she kind of calmed down a little bit, and that's like my homegirl now. We laugh at stuff. But when we were younger, she was super strict. It's like, why are you so strict, woman? Like, chill. And my dad was the Kung Fu geek. I remember watching Kung Fu movies with my dad. We would just sit there and watch Kung Fu movies every weekend, all night. He's a computer geek, and he's so corny. Like, my dad makes the corniest jokes, and he will make himself laugh so hard that it makes you laugh. And then you get mad for laughing because it's like, that wasn't even funny. So I love my dad. Like, he's so corny. I remember one time we went to a Sparks game, and I have a coworker who is a cheerleader there, and she was just flirting like, oh, your dad, he's handsome to show dad. He look young, all this other stuff. And he's like, make sure you tell your mom she was flirting with me. Like, who says that? Like, so that's the kind of corny my dad is. But my dad, I remember him being a very hard worker. I remember him having 2 jobs or going to school. He'll come home and be dirt tired, be sleep on the couch. Soon as you turn the channel, I was watching that. You was asleep, man. You wasn't watching that. But he took care of his family. He's definitely a man's man. He is definitely a provider. You guys hear those birds chirping? They trying to be in my video. Get off my set. But anyway, he definitely was a man's man. He provided for his family. He made sure that my mom was able to stay home and go back to school while he worked. So those are my parents, and I love them to death. They're living their best life because they're empty nesters, and they have one grandson. They always wanted a son. So they have one grandson, and he's with my son is actually with them for the summer, and they're living their best life. They travel together. They're a little obnoxious because they act like Velcro. They act like they can't do anything without each other now because I guess this is their time for them, raising kids and making sure we were good. My sister and I, now is their time. And I just really enjoy their company. Those are my people. Like, I call them if I need advice. I never was a mama's girl growing up. And actually it was a little difficult, me and my mom's relationship. As most typical girls are, they think they know everything. But as I got older, that's my girl. We could talk either every day or every other day. And I think I neglect my dad a little bit more so since I'm older and I need that woman's advice because she's the one who can teach me how to be the mom and the wife and whatever. But other than that, those are my parents. Those my dogs. I love them. They are definitely my village headquarters, I call them. I can't see my life without my parents. I thank the Lord that I am gifted to have them still here. A lot of people don't have their parents, but I thank God that I still have them and I can share that time and space with them. So that's my mommy and daddy. I love them.
Tell us a little bit about your sister.
My sister, oof, child. Now my sister is like, okay, she's a mixture between Monique, the comedian, and Cardi B. And that's like 2 extremes. My sister can be ratchet, but at the same time, she's so sweet. But when it comes to her family and friends, like she She gets there. She gets there. But I love her because she has this confidence. Like, her confidence is a little bit too much for me, if that makes sense. Like, my sister is a BBW. She's
big beautiful woman.
Yeah, big beautiful woman. She loves all that. But I be like, girl, I don't know. Just me personally, I don't like how. I think I need to work on myself a little bit physically. So there's just certain things I won't be comfortable wearing. But my sister, girl, bye. Okay? Bye, Felicia. She will wear whatever she want. If it's in her size, she will wear it, even if people think she shouldn't. But I love that about her. And she's like a flower. She lives life accordingly. She is definitely a hippie at heart. She just does her own thing. And if you don't like it, you don't like it. It's like, and if you do, get with it. So I can't say that about her. She is definitely unapologetic with her, with anything. I mean, you can't tell Tori anything. I love my sister. We are 6.5 years apart, so we weren't really close growing up. But now I can say that, like, that's like my homegirl. We do check in at least once or twice a week, make sure each other's good. And I love her. That's my girl. I used to play pranks on her. One prank I used to play on her, we shared a room at one point, and she was on the top bunk. And I'd be like, girl, come on, I'm gonna catch you. She's like, okay. And she would jump, and I'd be like, oops. That was so mean, y'all. I was a mean big sister. But then it was moments that I loved when we were little where she talked so much that I'd be like, Tori, can you talk me to sleep? So she'd be like, okay. And she would give me a story. She would talk. I wake up in the middle of the night to go use the restroom because I have to pee, and she's still talking. I'm like, this girl do not shut up. But she loved to talk me to sleep. That was our thing. Like, if I couldn't go to sleep, she would just start from top to bottom. She'd be like, okay, sissy, so one day, and she was like maybe like 7, and I was like 12 or 13. So those memories I love. And we used to play Office. I remember one time we used to put pillowcases over our head and act like we spoke a different language. That was our long hair. And I used to be like, she'd be like, I don't know what language you're speaking. Please forgive me. Don't be offended. But that was like, those are the memories I love. That's the childhood I love. So that's my sister. I love her. I wouldn't trade her for the world. She could be a mess, but that's my boo. And that's my mess, okay? Okay, so I met my ex-husband at our church picnic. I got introduced to him at our church picnic. His dad was already going to the church. And then later, his whole family started trying to trickle in. So I met him September of 2007 of our church picnic. And we ended up getting together in December of 2007. We worked together at Starbucks. That was my boo, y'all. We was always together. We were like the Velcro. Like Tamar, they always say Tamar and Vince was Velcro. We were like the Velcro. We worked together. We went to church together. And we both started to be very involved in our church. He was a youth leader. He was over the choir. And I was helping him over the choir at some point. I was teaching Sunday school. I'm like the perfect woman. I was teaching Sunday school, y'all, and I'm cute. Like, you can't get no better than that, okay? Anyway, just kidding. But we were just heavily involved in church, and we were together all the time. We worked together at Starbucks. And we hung out. That was my dude. We was together all the time. We ended up getting married in 2010. I am 3 years older than him, and I said I would never, ever date somebody younger than me, but I fell for it. And actually, before we even got engaged, I broke up with him because I just felt like it was a lot of stuff going on between us. But he told everybody, like, you was broken up with me, but I wasn't broken up with you. So for 3 months, I was not with him. He says that we were always together because he never broke up with me. So he was going with me, but I wasn't going with him. I don't know how that works, but it worked for him, I guess. We got together in 2010. We had our son in 2013. And it seemed like after that, that's when it would trickle down to a downward spiral. I was told by my mother, she said a lot of men, after they have children, one or two things happen. They either step up or they get scared. And I think my ex-husband really got scared. It was like, wow, it was a lot of pressure. I have this woman now depending on me. Now I have this son depending on me. And after that, it was just like, all hell broke loose. And we ended up getting divorced, got remarried, and got divorced again. And y'all, look, let me tell y'all something. I'm not doing it again. I cannot do the remarried again. Well, to him. I definitely want to be remarried in the future, but we decided that it's just best that we just do not be together and co-parent because we were very toxic for one another. Yeah, and that's our story. That's how we met. That was my boo. Right now we are, I can't say that we're friends. I don't know. Honestly, I don't know. I can't say that we're friends. I can definitely say that we are at a healthy stage in our life where we can co-parent without the bickering and we can agree to disagree. But I can't say that we're friends. I think it'll be some years before I can call my ex-husband my friends. And only because of me trying to protect myself, and the word of God says guard your heart. So I'm trying to guard my heart and make sure that I'm completely healthy to even allow a type of person in my space like that again. So I can't say that we're friends, but I can definitely say that we get along. And we do pretty good co-parenting as of now. It was rough, but I think we got it down for the time being. So that was the ex-boo. Let's talk about my baby, my heart, my 5-year-old son. His name is LaShae Hawkins. He is the third, so we call him Trey. That's his nickname. And he's hilarious. He is my reason why I do anything. He is very tender-hearted. He's very goofy. And he's at that age right now where he's like trying to find his own identity. So sometimes he gets upset if I call him Kyle's. Sometimes he gets upset if I call him Trey. Depending on where he's at, if he's with his baseball team, it's Kyle's. If he's at school, it's Kyle's. If he's with his cousins and his other friends, it's Trey. And I'm like, I don't know which one to call you. You know, sometimes like, I'm going to just call you boy because I don't know what to call you. But he is so sweet. He loves to play sports. He plays baseball right now. He's in basketball right now. And he is learning Spanish. He is in a dual immersion program. So he is learning Spanish, 90% Spanish at school and 10% English. And he's very fluent at it right now. At his age, he can hold a conversation in Spanish to anyone who speaks Spanish. So I wanted to expose him to more things in life. I wanted him to be more than just the African American man or the black man. Black men have a lot of negative, it seemed like, behind their name, and I wanted him to stand out. So when he gets a certain age, he has a lot of options because he dibbles and dabbles and everything. He is just, that's my boo. I mean, I can't see my life without him. And though I'm a single mom and it gets rough, I just can't see my life without my child. I love me some Trey, and he loves me. And sometimes I have to just sit back and thank God, like, wow, you've gifted me with this little life. You trusted me with this little life to make sure that, I raise him accordingly. You trust me enough to give me this precious little boy. And I thank the Lord for him, because if it wasn't for him, I probably wouldn't have as much motivation as I do to get where I need to go as a woman or in my career endeavors. So he is definitely my reason why. He makes me smile. When he's not with me, I'm always thinking about what he's doing. He's hilarious. He makes me laugh at times. He tells jokes. And for him to be 5, it's like he's been here before. That's how mature and intelligent his mind is. He's beyond his years. And I just love him. I mean, there's no other words to express how much I like that kid. He drives me crazy at times, but I wouldn't have it any other way. I couldn't see my life without him. So, about my baby. That's my man. That's my dude. He's my reason why. The room came about. So, of course, I always wanted to be a talk show host. growing up, that's just something I always wanted to do. I remember my friend, actually my high school friend, just reminded me. She sent me an inbox after we posted the trailer for the Powder Room show, and she's like, LaShae, oh my goodness, when we were in high school, my mom has a tape of us when we were pretending we had our own talk show. And I remember that vividly. We was in her apartment and her mom was taping us, and I was the host of the talk show. So growing up, I always wanted to have my talk show. It was just something naturally that I love people. I love to talk. I'm a people person. So that's the main reason. Another reason is I want to have something for myself, my own, and just to have for single moms, of course. But the thing that was like the needle that broke the camel's back, I was watching a reality show called Married to Medicine, LA. And one of the cast members were saying how ooh, girl, I got my snapback. I just had my snapback. And her baby was like, what was her baby, like a year? Not even a year.
Yeah, maybe
but she was happy to have her snapback. And she probably was not even a size 2. I mean, it just... I was like low-key mad, and my cousin and I were sitting on the couch, and we looked at each other like, I was like, you know what, I want to create a show where people don't have their snapback. They a size 16 like me, you know what I mean? In double digits. They thick, they chocolate, you know, and they're confident in themselves, you know. And I was just upset that she portrayed herself as this perfect woman because she has her snapback. Now, let me just say this. A mother, single mom, married mom, a mother, period, you're not bomb because you have a snapback. You're bomb because you're a mother. Because you didn't die on that table when you had that child. Because you're carrying your household, because you're raising your child, because you're doing the everyday things, especially single moms, you're doing it on your own. So that's why you bomb. But it just irritated me. I was like, the reason why, boo, you got a snapback, because one, you don't work, okay? She's a stay-at-home mom, so she doesn't work. You have a nanny, so your nanny can watch your baby while you go to the gym and get your snapback. I'm sure you have a chef, okay? I'm sure you got a chef, and if you don't, I'm sure you go to these fancy restaurants, vegan restaurants, where you can snatch the snapback. And then you have a husband who's making 7+ figures, so you have no cares of this world. But let's talk about the mother who is going to school full-time, who's working full-time, who's driving their children from sports and to other activities and ballet and lessons and all this to tutoring. Let's talk about a mother who is coming home to her husband, have to be cute and do all that and still give him a little nookie, if you know what I mean. Okay, let's talk about all of that. We need to show America the real of how women are. And how we really get down. Like, the typical average woman does not have all that extra stuff to do that. So I'm a mother. I work full-time. I'm a single mother. My son's in sports. He's in 2 sports on top of that. He's in a dual immersion program. I have my own things going on as well. I'm going back to school. I'm working on the show. My schedule is crazy. So let's talk about the snapback after all of that, okay? So that was my main reason why I was like, you know what? I'm sick of it. I want to show some real women who do everyday real things, who don't have the means and the money to have the snapback, okay? I mean, I think I'm pretty snatched without having the snapback. I was a size 8, 10 before I got married. I mean, before I had my son. Now I'm a 16, 18. And I think I'm cute still. So, I mean, we about to show America the real women and the real things that we deal with. The everyday life, because that's not the typical, and that stuff is not real. I'm so sick of these reality shows not being real. Anyway, that's the why. I don't mean to sound so hostile. You know, I know it was a little hostile and had my neck rolling and all that, but I mean, it just brought that emotion out of me. Like, no, this is the real. This is what you got, okay? 16 and all. The why I did the show. Why I wanted my story and my testimony to be documented. I wanted people, or especially moms in general, or women in general, to let them know, like, after all that I've been through, I bounced back and I became something. I didn't let the divorce and the things I went through as far as being cheated on or even abuse. I was verbally abused, at times physically, not a lot, but at times. And I wanted to give that back, my story, and I wanted to give you guys something that you can have hope for. You know, a lot of times women feel like they're broken. They feel like they can't bounce back from the horror that they went through, the tragedy that they went through. But I'm here to tell you guys can make it. Also, too, I wanted to be an example for my son. I wanted him to see that, you know, this is not what we deal with growing up, and I didn't want him to see that in a home. I wanted to raise him in a very functional home and not a dysfunctional home. So it was something that I had to do as far as the divorce. This show was created because I felt like single moms need things. Typically, our society tells us that single moms, you're going to be nothing. You have kids, you can't go back to school, you're going to be on welfare, you're going to be on the county, you're going to need government assistance all the time, but that doesn't have to be our story. And I'm not knocking the women who need that extra help, but while you're getting that extra help, what can we do to better you so you won't need that help? You know what I mean? So that's why I'm here. That's why I wanted to share my story with you guys. I hope this show opens up your eyes. I hope this show enlightens you, inspires you. I hope this show gives you something and gives you that encouragement, that confidence to go out there and reach for, you know, your dreams and your ambitions and whatnot. I always say that I want to be the light and the smile in this dark world, especially now in today's society. It's so much going on across the world. There's murders, there's women trafficking, child trafficking. It's so much negative in the world, and God has blessed me in my life to have a great village, to have a great son, to have a job, to have my health and strength, and just the personality that He's given me. I'm gonna share that with you guys. I'm gonna let you guys know, like, look, Shay did it, I can do it. So I hope you guys enjoy the rest of the season. We have so much to show you guys. This is just the beginning, you guys. This is just the beginning. And guess what? You're going to be able to tell people, you know what? I was right there on her couch when she first started, before I got that Emmy Award at the, for my show. So let people know, spread the news, let them know that it's a new mama in town and she's about to take over the talk show world. I love you guys, and you guys have a blessed and awesome day. Welcome to the Powder Room Show. Make sure you subscribe to our channel on YouTube and hit us up on Instagram as well. We are on all social media content, okay? Come and join us in our living room. We love you, mommies. Have a good one.